Welcome to TGR TV. For those of you who are just tuning in, TGR TV is where I bring people on where they can talk about experiences, different situations, and how they were able to reverse their lives God's way. TGR TV is founded on the scripture 2 Corinthians 5:17. This means that anyone who belongs in Christ has become a new person. The old life is gone, the new life has begun. Turn your reverse. Today, we're going to be sitting down where we're going to be chatting with some girls about dating, relationships, and even friendships. Let me introduce who we have today. We have Chanika, Devin, Aisha, and Paige. So I want to talk about first, I don't know about y'all, but I know I have people who I like work with and stuff, and they'll be like, do Christians really have fun? You know how they side eye you, they don't think you like have fun or something. So what do y'all think about that? Like, what would you tell somebody about, do Christians have fun, or are we just boring?
Christians have fun.
Right.
They have fun, but people don't realize when they think that since you're a Christian, you can't do anything at all. And people don't, I'm a preacher's kid, of course, and with me growing up, people think, oh, you can't do this, or you're not supposed to do that, but they don't realize you have to make your own mistakes when you're growing up and realize the mistakes that you made, you need to learn from.
Yeah,
so,
I agree with that.
I mean, if you can have good fun. They have, my dad, he's a preacher, he doesn't listen to Christian music not like church music all the time. You can listen to jazz, they have R&B music.
I still listen to rap music.
But it's always of how you do it.
Yeah, that's true.
You don't have to be out here just.
I guess I can chime in on that.
That's my turn.
I am the definition of fun. Like, when I'm in church, I have fun.
Yeah.
I'm just like a person to be around. I'm always high energy, smiling. Like, Jesus had fun. Like, you think he just walked everywhere in the promised land and just like not have fun? Like, he had humor. Like, Christian concerts, I live for that. I have good, clean fun.
True.
Read the Bible, I have fun. Talking on the phone to anybody, I have fun. Like, I'm just always like a joy to be around. So it's like when you let your light shine,
Right.
it's just being joyful. It's just
Yeah.
always having fun. It don't matter what you're doing.
Yeah, because they were trying to put us in a box.
Right.
Like we're different. But
I think it's just like that fine line, because I've battled with that before, like, well, dang, I gotta sit at the house tonight because I don't want to, be out partying. But I think it's just finding that fine line between not tarnishing your, what you can impart into someone's life, and then being like, okay, but I can still hang out with these people. It's just a certain way I have to go about carrying
And
myself.
even being in the midst of those people, that's the opportunity to even make someone or talk to them about Christ. Even with this situation, if you go out to the club, you can have fun, sit down, listen to music. You don't have to be boring just because you're a Christian. But
what do you think are some of like the misconceptions that people get of having a Christian lifestyle?
I think it's like, you think of Christianity and you think restriction. That's what I used to think, because when I was back in my BC days, when I was like living in the world, I knew what was right and wrong, but I wasn't willing to change because I didn't want to stop having fun, because I look at the Christian lifestyle and I think it's so restrictive.
Right.
And my big thing was, like, I have all these friends that don't go to church, and these are like my best friends. Like, how am I supposed to leave them and go and make new friends when I don't even know if I'm going to be able to do that? So then I'm going to be sitting at home by myself, and that's not fun. But I think when you realize, just like I was just saying, the joy and the freedom that comes from one having a purpose and being aligned with that purpose, and having friends that will support you in that. And I mean, just like Jessica, we live similar lifestyles in the world, and then when we got in a church and found each other, one, you can kind of like, you have that connection from the past, but seeing where you've come from and then having that bond over let's keep each other accountable.
Yes.
Just like you have fun in anything that you do. It's not so restrictive.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so let's transition to friendships. I know for me, Back in the day, I would think like friends weren't important. Like I didn't necessarily have to have them. And I know for some people that are like in the world, they think they can do things on their own. What would you tell someone who feels that way? Like they feel as if they don't need people to get through life and to help with their potential purpose. Like what would you tell somebody that felt that way?
I think relationships are key in every aspect of your life, even living in the worldly sense. I kind of had that same persona where it's like, you cross me, you're done. It wasn't like, let's repair this, let's work on this, because I didn't see any flaws in myself. So I'm like, they're crossing me, I'm not taking time to see why they're crossing me, bye. And then it's like, you don't have any people to get you through those rough patches. I didn't have a close relationship with my family at that point because I wasn't living how they saw fit, so I can't go and talk to them about the stuff that I'm going through. So it's like you go through those periods, and the dark periods get darker.
Yeah.
And then when you make it out of those periods, and you're kind of like in a better spot, you're there by yourself.
Yeah.
So it's like you have these sometime friends that are there when things are good, but you don't have those good wholesome friendships that are there when you really need it, and that makes a big difference in how things play out.
What about the people that you feel like you should leave behind? Like, how will you deal with that? If your friendships aren't honoring God, how would you leave that behind? Like, how would you tell them, okay, well, we can't be friends anymore? But seriously, because your friendships are supposed to honor God, seriously.
I think if relationships or friendships aren't meant to be, they'll dwindle away anyway. Like, I've never had to have that conversation like, listen, bro.
Yeah.
Like, it usually just kind of fade away
That's
anyway. So, I think when you're going a different direction or whatever direction you guys are going, eventually if your destinies are going in a different direction, like, I read this post that said, destiny cannot be tied to unpurposeful things. So if your destiny is to do what you're doing, or your destiny is to, you know, praise God and be a pastor, and this person's destiny is to, you know, be a rapper and be cussing and breaking it down, like, more than likely you guys are gonna like divert to other things.
Right. That's true.
It would just fade away because I have friendships that I've had some years back ago when I knew that those were the type of friends that I need, but I didn't say like I was better than them, you know what I'm saying? I don't need to be around you, you're doing the things that I shouldn't be doing. Like you said, that it fades away.
Right.
And once it fades away, with your friend, if you really had a friendship with them, they will understand. And when you see each other, you all can see us speak. It won't be anything to where, oh, she don't like me anymore, and it could, I mean, you just fade away, but there's no disrespect there.
Yeah, because I never had to really have a conversation with my life. Like, you can't be my friend anymore. But I do think that friendships are supposed to honor God. They should help you deal with your purpose. So let's get into dating and relationships. Okay, so how hard is it, and even because you're married now, so like even think about your single time, like how hard is it, do you think it is for a Christian girl to date?
It's hard out here.
It's especially when you come from a background of like not dating in a Christian way. And just kind of going and doing like play the field, whatever, and then transitioning into like my mindset now is like the next person I want to date is the person I want to marry.
Right.
But granted, it's hard in like the waiting period because you're like, I know God's bringing me who He wants for me, but like just sit here and like twiddle your thumbs. So it's like hard in that mindset of like waiting, but when you actually get into that position, it's like you have to be able to be confident enough in your faith and who you are to say like in my opinion, boundaries are extremely important.
True.
Because you don't set boundaries, you're not going to know when to say no.
Right.
And so setting those boundaries, and you have to set them quick, so it's like finding that fine line between like, we're just kind of like talking and getting to know each other, but I need to set boundaries because he's trying to come over to my house and I'm alone by myself. So when I'm going to have this talk, then I don't want to scare him off. So So I think having a prayer life in that and
Yeah.
kind of like walking in the Spirit and like speaking when the Spirit tells you to speak about certain things is really important.
I don't think it's personally hard as a Christian woman today. I feel like it was hard when I wasn't in sync with the Holy Spirit or didn't have a relationship with God, because that's when I was doing like my way instead of God's way.
That's good.
So when you do life God's way and let His will be done rather than let my will be done, then you actually have a purpose and know what you want when it comes to dating.
Yeah.
Versus you like, I like him, but this and that. But it's like God telling you to do one thing, versus when you more in sync with the Holy Spirit and your connection with God is more stronger. You know what you want. You more confident because your confidence comes from Him. So you walking in your freedom, so everything is just so natural
Yeah.
and easy.
Ooh, that's good. No, seriously, that's good though. But I want to talk about when you were talking about the waiting period. It made me think about something because people, I hear, Jesus, social media, goodness. But I hear so many people that are like, oh my God, the wait, I don't want to wait on this person. It's like they're constantly looking. So what would you tell that person who always like constantly looking for someone rather than they should mainly be looking, to God and on their purpose and just fulfilling with God? Because the longer you keep looking for something, you're not going to find it like that. So what would you tell that person that's in that waiting period right now?
So the devil hears your prayers just like God hears your prayers. So if you're sitting here like, I want a man, and like I try to be specific in my prayers, like in praying for my husband.
Right.
But Satan hears those. So if you're praying about it, but you're out here looking in the world, you're gonna find something.
Yeah.
There's plenty of guys out there that are looking just like we are, and you're gonna find something, and that's when you find something that's probably not what you need. Instead of looking, I remember at City Group after church one time, they did a demonstration, and if you've got two people that are head down looking toward God, they're eventually going to meet, and God's going to be that center. But if you're over here and you turn your reflection from God to that other person, you go right here, you're nowhere near where you're supposed to be if this is the end point.
Yeah.
You're stuck right there in that center. And so I think the waiting period for me can be difficult just because being in the South and growing up with half of my high school class married with kids or engaged now, it gets hard thinking like that worldly biological time clock. Like, I'm 23. Like, marriage can wait some.
Yeah.
But it's like I think it's like you have so much pressure, and then I see like I talk to my friends that are married and they're like, oh, we're struggling with this right now, and I'm like, I have never even thought about that. And so my thing is like, just because even now, say you found your person and you're in that wedding period, there's a wedding period for everything, whether it's to meet a boyfriend or to get engaged or to get married or to have kids, whatever that waiting period is, it's all about God's timing. Because if you rush it, just because, say, I meet Joe tomorrow and this is the guy I'm supposed to be married to, doesn't mean I'm supposed to marry him the next day. Because marriage takes time, relationships take time and work. And if we don't know how to communicate effectively, if we don't know how to argue with a point to resolve it, not to a point where I win or he wins, then it's going to fall apart.
Yeah.
Marriages that were meant to be together crumble all the time because there's stuff that's done that's not in God's timing.
Yeah.
So I think staying fervent in that and not looking so much as to like, I need to be married, I need to be in a relationship because I need that fulfillment. That fulfillment's supposed to come from God.
Yeah.
And I think like staying headstrong in that and focusing on that and His will and His timing makes all the difference.
What are some mistakes that you have made in your past relationships that you wouldn't bring into your new relationship? If you want to talk about that.
I think I would check those red flags, like the red flags that were presented. I would move when I saw that it wasn't working instead of like, well, okay, it'll get better, or maybe this can be fixed or whatnot. I would take those unctions of the Holy Spirit and be like, okay, let me go ahead and end this so I can be where He really wants me to be, or be with the person that He really wants me to be with.
Yeah, I know, like for me, I would try and think I could change a man.
Yeah.
Whereas you can't change anyone. They have to want to change on their own. So I know for me, I know that's something, well now, I'm good now, but that was a mistake that I had made. So I'm like, oh, can change him and make him better, but we have to realize that we can't change a person.
I know for me, it was more of, even my parents, if they're a Christian, then they're okay. Versus now, I need your relationship with God to be strong. I don't need you to just be a Sunday man because the devil works Monday through Saturday, 24/7.
Yeah.
So if your prayer life and your relationship with God is not strong, then you cannot lead me effectively as a woman. And I need a spiritual leader.
That's good. Okay, why do you think it's hard for a Christian guy to approach a girl? How do you date God's way? What does that look like?
God's way, trust in Him. I mean, it's going to be hard, but you have to know that you need to pray through that, through those hard times, and just basically trust in God. And even in those difficult times, you have men in some relationships that cheat. And of course, when women get married, they don't want to leave their husbands. I know some women who are married who have difficult times, and they just want to give up, but they took that commitment. So you just need to trust God and let Him lead you in the right direction. And you have to have a listening ear to hear Him.
Yeah, that's good.
That's the biggest thing. You gotta know when it's your self-talking versus just when you think something in your head. It's not always God talking to you. You gotta know when to distinguish your personal emotions versus what you're listening to.
That's true.
God.
I think also, like Paige says, boundaries. Like if you're dating someone, you definitely got to set boundaries.
Some places we're not going, some things we're just not doing.
Okay, so where you not going?
Some places we're not going. We're not finna go have date night at my house.
Oh, yeah,
We're not finna have date night in your room. No, we're not finna do stuff like that. We go to the movies, after eat, I'm a talker. So personally, when I was dating someone last year, we had spiritual like mentors. There was a married couple that's been dating married for a long time, and we'll go to their house, get to know each other, ask each other those hard questions, like what do you want to have kids? How many kids you want to have? Do you want to stay here? Do you want to wipe the word? Do you don't want to wipe the word? Those hard questions that you don't want to ask, that's what we'll ask, like, cause I'm a talker. Like, I need to just sit and talk to you all day and get straight. We can watch a movie when we get married or something, but I just want to talk and chill when we get married. Enjoy each other's company and definitely have those boundaries.
I think that's good too. What you said, mentors, like they're super important. Like if you don't have one, you definitely need to get
Right,
mentors.
because when you so into somebody, you kind of just don't see red flags. You don't see a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
But your
blind.
spiritual mentors be like, hey, you need to do this, and then they kind of lead and guide you where you want to be.
I really wanted to also talk about like celibacy and purity, because I feel like a lot of people really need, especially like young people and young girls, need to really hear about that. So how do you feel about practicing celibacy in a relationship and purity, period?
I think you have to want to do it, not just because, you see someone who did it and it quote unquote worked for them, or it's the right thing. Like, what are your reasons besides it being one in the Bible, okay,
right,
that's great, or it working for someone else? Like, what are your reasons? Like, do you really want to get to know this person without the sexual, without doing anything sexual, or just like she said, talking? Like that kind of, it allows you to talk more when you don't have those times that you just Netflix and chilling. So I think you have to want to do it. Like for me, it's wanting to do it versus like my best friend who's been doing it for 2 years and she's engaged now. They get married in October. Like she wanted to do it. Like she was like, okay, like I've been doing it this way for so long and I'm not getting anywhere. So let me try it this way. So I think first and foremost, you have to want to do it.
I think it's important, just to be like real blatant, because it's part of my testimony. I used to struggle with sexual sin in the past. Going through things I went through in high school just kind of skewed my idea of sex, and purity and waiting and all that, and I was like I became more of a guy in that sense, where it was just like I could sleep with somebody, not have any feelings, and throw it aside. And so doing that way for so long, it just like breaks you down. And then there, like literally one day I just woke up and I was like, I hate this life that I've created for myself. I am miserable. I'm not getting any fulfillment out of it. And so I started that journey of sexual purity and being celibate and waiting. And I mean, it's been amazing because you get clouded by stuff,
Right.
and it's even more so when you sleep with someone.
Yeah.
And I think even it's like not just sex, doing stuff that leads up to sex that you know is breaking boundaries that you set,
Right.
can kind of cloud your judgment in areas. And even what you were saying, a lot of times that I've noticed, like sleeping with a guy and then trying to grow that relationship, it slows so much. You don't have because it becomes all about the physical aspect.
Right.
So that emotional connection that you need, that you get through learning about each other and connecting on spiritual and emotional levels, is not there anymore. Or if it is there, it's really slow growing, and it's not supposed to be that way. And so I think, for me, I mean, it's just super important. 2.5 years, going strong. It gets easier with time, and then being in a relationship, even starting off, that's why I'm so like gung-ho on setting boundaries, because it's a lot harder to be in a relationship and be abstinent when you've had sex before than being pure for 23 years and get into a relationship and that's all you've known, so it's easier to go back because it's like you don't know what you're missing in a sense. But
Now I've heard like you said, like blinders, when you can stay pure, but what are some other dangers of having casual sex?
Unplanned pregnancy, disease.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess just the main things, but I guess those strong ties too, they can be probably even more dangerous than, I mean, of course, STDs are dangerous.
Right.
But I think, like, emotionally, like, they can be even more dangerous.
It's a quote that Louis Giglio said, and I think it's just so profound and true. Like, you cannot put a condom over your soul. So, a condom is not big enough to put over your soul. So therefore, like, your emotions will go everywhere. And I know as women, you think you can, just have sex with somebody and forget about it, but for a long period of time, it's just gonna weigh a toll on it. Like, God created sex for us to be, for us to enjoy, but He also created marriage so we can do that. Get married first, then have sex. Like, it's a containment where you can do that in you. So I think the church has done a bad job of saying, no, don't have sex, but you have to break it down and tell the kids. Or the young people, like myself, why you can't have sex. Because I'm that person, why we can't do this, why you get all these rules saying no. But why? Get married first, then you can have all the sex you want. Like, they don't say that in church. They do not say that.
They sure don't.
All the sex you want when you're married. So when you have sex while you're dating, it's just about everything you go.
But to wrap all this up, is there anything else that you would like to share about what we talked about, from being a Christian, dating, relationships, purity? Is there anything else you would like to add, or any type of takeaways?
get accountability partner.
Yes.
I think having close friends that can run to. Jessica was my person when I first started getting back in church, and like, I swear, the second you turn around and start running toward God, all those guys from the past are gonna be chasing you down.
Right.
And Jessica was the person that I call and be like, so and so just asked me to hang out tonight. Can we do something? Whatever she had, we're doing something together. Like, having that accountability partner and having a best friend that wants to see you do well is so important. And get godly relationships, surround yourself with people like that.
And I think having a spiritual marriage couple to lead you along the way is important.
Yeah.
Like, I already know, like, my go-to couple when I start dating,
Yeah.
like, who I want to, like, pray over me.
Right.
you know, just
Give you wisdom,
give me
yeah.
that wisdom that I need along the way.
That's true.
So you gotta be careful who you keep around you and call your friends, because you have some people who despise what you're doing and they see that you're going forward with what God wants you to do and God's plan. And like, and even though I'm a preacher's kid, Jessica really led me into getting closer to God, and she knows not. But me and her, we've been friends for a very long time. We partied together. We've been friends for a very long time. But just seeing her and how she has gotten so close to God, it just makes me want to get even closer to Him in my own personal relationship. And with those friends, some friends that we just have to, not, I wouldn't say let them go, but you gotta know when to kind of distance yourself to get closer to where God wants you to be.
That's good.
And I think that's how you know you have a good friendship. The fact that you knew that, oh man, just to get closer to God, like, let me see what I'm doing. And that's how me and my friends are. Like, oh man, like, she just went to church. She just finished reading this whole devotion on the Bible app. Let me read that out. You know, like, you want to have friends that challenge you to do better. And if you don't have those type of friends, then you probably need to.
Because some people, they want to stay where they are.
Right.
There's some people just don't want to grow, and when they see that things are going well in your life and you're moving forward with God's plan, and that scares them. And so that can make them try to draw you back to where you all used to be. So you have to be careful with that,
That's true.
with your friendships.
Well, thank you guys. I appreciate y'all. Like, honestly, you guys don't even understand. You four are probably the most people I admire and adore the most. That's why I chose you guys. So I really appreciate y'all.
Y'all heard it?
Not that